And that's how I saved Christmas. Oh, I didn't see you there. Come in. We've just come from The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe. What do you think of it?
Well, The Mummy was pretty good. But, Richard, why did we start off this way?
Why not? I was just telling you a lovely story about how I saved Christmas. And then we were going to tell these lovely people who arrived here about The Mummy.
Okay, welcome to the Terrence and Roy Show.
Terrence and Roy at the movies. We've just come from The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe. And Jake Johnson.
Yes. So what were your thoughts about the movie, Roy?
There were two halves to the movie, really. I thought it was two completely different movies. The first half was, it wasn't good, really. The writing was pretty bad. All of the exposition sounded like somebody doing a history report that they just didn't really, they had to do. They were assigned, they had no passion behind it. Every time it tried to be scary, it was just kind of stupid. The comedy really only worked either because of Tom Cruise's charisma or because of Jake Johnson's comedic timing for the most part. So, I mean, that's kind of how I felt about the first half. It was...
Honestly, I felt the movie was very confused.
Yeah.
It felt forced at some times. So
it sure did.
So I don't, I don't know if you guys followed all the Mummies, but throw out everything that you know about all previous movies.
This has no relation to the Brendan Fraser movies.
Or the Scorpion King.
No, none of those.
So I don't even think they are allowed to even call this The Mummy.
However, this is the first in Universal's new series of the monster movies they're doing. They're going to do a shared universe with all the Universal monsters, and The Mummy was the first one.
So the biggest thing I can say about the Dark Universal universe, or whatever you call it.
Yes, Dark Universe.
Is Dark Universe. If you're under 13... probably don't want to go see this movie. It's just an advisory there. But it was kind of dark, but unnecessarily dark.
I mean, Tom Cruise was naked at one point, so that's not appropriate for children. I'm just saying.
Thanks for pointing that out. Spoiler alert.
And the scene even when she's naked is in the trailer. He's just not naked in the trailer part.
But very often... the movie really kind of felt confused. They were trying to add at least 2 or 3 different story plots and blend it together. They went with the very obvious that they were trying to combine different universes together. But I don't know how they're going to be able to do that.
I think it's going to be really interesting. I think there's a point about 2/5 to halfway through this movie where it becomes a completely different movie. And... it's basically at that point where it becomes simultaneously really stupid and really interesting all at the same time. And it's kind of at that point where the movie either expects you to buy in or just check out completely. You're kind of just either in or you're out at that point, I think, for the most part.
I'm pretty sure there was quite a few people checking out at that point.
That's the thing.
I think I noticed 1 or 2 people physically sleeping during the movie.
That's true. And... I wanna buy into this movie. There were interesting parts to it, but it's just not a good movie. It's just not.
If it wasn't Tom Cruise, this movie would have failed very, very badly.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Honestly, the one redeeming quality I think about this movie.
I like some of the acting, but the acting couldn't save how bad a lot of the script was.
Even the plot didn't exactly make sense.
No, a lot of the plot didn't make sense.
The ending made no sense.
Well, there's this thing in movies where basically it's like, well, why did that happen? It's like, well, it had to happen to the characters, otherwise there'd be no story. But this movie kind of pushed that too far, where they're just like, a few too many things were coincidental. A few too many things happened coincidentally at the same time for it to be really believable. I know some things have to happen coincidentally for a movie to happen, you know? It's like, well, why has Harry Potter happened? Well, Voldemort has to decide to kill his parents. Well, that's true, but...
yeah.
Voldemort could have stayed home that day. There'd be no books, but...
Yeah, no, but, if you ask me, if you're a fan of the old movies like I was, it's not a bad movie. Things get blown up. There's action. There's Tom Cruise.
I don't even think the action is that good. Another one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies that I think a lot of people don't really like is Night and Day with Cameron Diaz. I also love Cameron Diaz. The action in that movie is way better than the action in this movie.
It isn't your typical Tom Cruise movie, but it's watchable.
There have been worse movies.
It's worth $10. If you're in New York City paying $16, you may want to rethink it.
If it's like a lot of movie theaters have Tuesday, like $5 special day, maybe go then.
Yeah.
See it for $5.
So what's your rating on this movie?
I really don't like it. It's really not a good movie. Overall, I have to kind of give it like a 5 out of 10, but I will say this caveat. That's for the movie as it is. As The Mummy, it's a 5 out of 10. As the first piece of the Universal Monster thing, I don't know if they're going to be able to fulfill it, but there's enough things about it that are interesting that I am kind of interested going forward. So some good things came out of it, but it's not a good movie of itself, really.
I wish they would have just left the whole monster thing out. Like that whole part just felt so forced. It didn't go with the it didn't go with the mummy thing.
See, I think
they had one section where they showed like the book, and then they were like,
I know that was a weird Easter egg. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but my comparison is like Justice League, like Batman vs Superman. Batman vs Superman is 3 movies. It was a Man of Steel sequel, it was a Batman movie, and it was an advertisement for the Justice League movie. And that was way more forced than this. It did kind of come out of nowhere that this was like a prequel to all the Universal monster stuff, but it fit more naturally in the story than something like Justice League, where they're like, this story's happening. I guess Justice League's here too.
So, the rating I'm going to give it is like a 6 out of 10, but I'm much more closer to the 5 out of 10 like Roy is.
Yeah.
Like the only movie that's ever set up another movie worse than this is exactly what Roy just said. They're trying to do the whole superhero mix and, let's put in a whole bunch of Easter eggs and get people excited for other movies.
Some of the Easter eggs were awesome, and some of them were completely random.
If you ask me, they just missed the boat. Tom Cruise could have probably made a good movie, probably could have been, a good, Brandon Fraser replacement, but they really just don't give him a chance.
No. They didn't give him a lot to work with, and that's the real flaw. Like most movies, we didn't get a chance to review Wonder Woman last week. We saw it, but Wonder Woman was the first movie I've seen so long where like one of the strengths of the movie is the writing, and that was so refreshing. And this movie is just not. It's back to just the writing is one of the main weaknesses of this movie. So
if you're in a place in the country or in the world where it's snowy and you're bored and you want to go see a movie, go see it. But honestly, there's a lot of other options. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman from last week,
yeah,
go see that.
Definitely go see that. Yeah, that's a great movie. Oh man, Professor Lupin is there. Anyway, yeah. So that was The Mummy.
Yes,
it happened.
Mixed feelings. Won't be mad if you don't go see it.
Yeah.